Okay, good. Got that going. Focus a little bit here. Okay, great. All right, folks, we're right at the top of the hour, and I want to welcome everyone to the call. This has been a great holiday. It's been Thanksgiving is such a special time. It's probably one of the few holidays where you kind of focus on yourself and how your life is going, and one of those few holidays that you really get a chance to enjoy the family. Sometimes for some reason Christmas is good, but Christmas everybody seems to be so focused on the gifts and the goodies that they've gotten, and Thanksgiving though seems to really work out as a holiday where it's before you get into the shopping and materialistic world, and where you really just sort of enjoy the family and the idea of being there. So happy Thanksgiving to all. The topic for today is hang in there. And good morning, good morning. Oh, wow, well, praises be to your mother. You have a great son, and all good things comes to you. Wow, that is so beautiful. The thought comes into my mind, CJ, that our bodies know what to do and does it, to heal itself, protect itself, and keep it healthy. I often share that prayer with myself when I'm trying to bring myself in harmony with my perfect self, my healthy self. I do that. My body knows what to do and does it to heal itself, protect itself, and keep it healthy. Well, our topic for today is hang in there, and it really just sort of struck me because, over the last, I guess, few weeks, things have happened, events, circumstances, people. In other words, our lives get filled with very often things we can't do anything about. And it's when these things happen that they really challenge us. They really make us question sometimes ourselves. They sometimes make us question, our path, our goals. Sometimes they even make us question who we are and, what we're about. And so this whole idea of hang in there really just that it hit me so hard, over these recent couple of weeks. And so the thoughts are that, when you hang in there, in other words, how do you respond to the world? How do you respond to events? How do you respond to people that come into your space and that sometimes undermine you, that sometimes throw you off track? And so I guess the first thing is to really recognize, that there are like two worlds. There is the world and there is your world. And we literally speak our world into existence. And as it says, in the beginning was the Word. So our world starts with the way we speak about it. And so when the challenges appear, we have to look at it and say, well, that's a challenge from the outside world. That's a world challenge. Okay? But my world is different. And so once you take control of that thought that this is my world, that when things happen, it's not, as they say, very often they say, it's not the name they call me, but the name I answer to. And so as these external events happen, we have a choice for how we respond to it, because how we respond is my world. And so we create our world as a result of our own decisions and actions. So when we see things happen that disappoint us, and disappointment is just simply when our reality does not match up with our expectations, when we thought it was going to happen this way and it did not happen, and we have a sense of loss, of missing the mark. When things like that happen, then what do? What keeps you going? And that's really what we're talking about. What makes you hang in there? What makes you keep going? Sometimes the things that come into our lives are not external, but internal. You know, one of the lessons that we must really work in there and to clarify is that very often we have self-sabotaging behavior. It's almost as though we'll plant a seed knowing that we need the flower or the food from that seed, and then we'll go back and dig it up each day to see how it's going. A lack of faith. And so when we start thinking of hang in there, one of the first steps is to recognize those things that are coming from without and those things that are coming from within. The things that come from without, we can handle. The things that are coming from within, we must change. We must work with. And so when those things appear, there's certain things that we have, certain frameworks that we have to put in our mind, because the challenges that appear in our lives are absolutely necessary. In other words, the process of growth, without challenge, there is no growth. And if you notice, very often when you're closest to the prize is when the resistance seems greater. Very often when you're closest to achieving the success that you're seeking, all the things appear that seem to undermine you and discourage you. And so that's okay. When these things appear, realize that, you know, that this is just a challenge of growth, that if this did not happen, you would not become the person that you're capable of being. You know? Napoleon once said that victory belongs to the person who persists. Napoleon once said that victory belongs to those who persist, to the persistent. And so as these challenges appear, internal or external, but particularly external, when they appear, then we have to just tie a knot in our rope, you know, and just hang on. We have to know that all of the challenges and the events and the people that attempt to undermine and discourage us are there to make us grow. We don't go through it. We grow through it. Let me share this again. Each experience that we have in our lives that appear to be challenges, that appear to be setbacks, are put there for a purpose, to make us grow through them. Because each time we overcome an obstacle, each time we pick ourselves up from a disappointment, we become stronger inside. We confirm our faith. We confirm our belief in ourselves. One of the great philosophers said that persistent people begin their success where others end in failure. And so when the challenges confront you, start working on that frame of mind, because the way we think determines the way we act and the decisions we make. And so when the challenges confront us, we think about this. This is what has to happen. That when things happen, this is where the great ones step up. That stumbling blocks become stepping stones. You know, they often say that people put up, the universe puts up walls in your path so that you can climb on top to see further. Without the wall, you can't see further. And so hanging in there means seeing all of the challenges, all of the obstacles, all of the disappointments as just ways to make us better, ways to make us stronger, ways to make us focus more on our faith. You know, it is said that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And so when things confront us, it's our faith that makes us see beyond the wall to the promised land. It's our faith that makes us see beyond the hole to the oasis beyond the desert, to the palm trees, to the water. And so to hang in there means that we really reaffirm our faith in ourselves, reaffirm our faith in that which we are seeking. You know, there are two parts to who we are as living beings. And there is the I am part, which is the declaration of who you are. In other words, your ego manifests in two levels. it manifests as I am, which is that declaration of who you are, and it manifests as I will, that determination to go forward, to grow, to become that which we're seeking. And so when we hang in there, when the challenges confront us, it often makes us question ourselves. Some of those questions we often ask is, when the challenges are extremely severe, there are certain questions we may ask. Who am I? When one of the greatest obstacles to success is discouragement. You see, failure is clear. When you fail, we know we fail. But discouragement is that thing that sucks out your energy, your psychic energy, your spiritual energy, so that you're moving in the right direction, but you have no conviction. You have no power. My aunt used to say, the worst thing that can happen is when people quit and don't tell you. They keep showing up, but their heart is not there. They'll march alongside you, but they really don't believe. And so, who am I? That declaration, that oneness, that connection to your source. Without that, we're like pebbles in the sand. But with that acknowledgement of the connection we have with a source, with a power greater than we, then we have a well that we can dig our hands into to pull out water, to pull out sustenance, to pull out whatever we need to feed ourselves so that we can go forward, so that we can hang in there. The other question we have sometimes is, well, where did I come from? When the challenges appear, it makes you question your very being. Where did I come from? What is my source? And so we have to really determine that recognize our connection to that greater being. I very often love the story of the prodigal son. And I'm not getting biblical, but there's some principles here. In other words, when the prodigal son had gone off into the land, into the life, and lost all his money and began to suffer, that's like we are, when the challenges appear. But when the prodigal son, he said, when he came to his senses, when he realized who he was, in other words, that there was a connection between him and greatness, there was a connection between him and power, then he arose. In other words, he changed his thinking. He saw beyond the obstacles. He saw beyond the pig pen. He arose and went to his source, his father. And so the thing that gives us the power to hang in there is to realize and recognize who we really are. Last time we talked a little about the harmonic relationships between you and your source, but one of the primary harmonic relationships is between you and yourself. And so when the challenges appear, it forces us to become clear on the relationship we have with ourselves. It forces us to develop our confidence. It forces us to not depend on other people. It forces us to protect our being so that we can get that strength to go forward and overcome. Another question we have is, well, why am I here? When the challenges appear, you say, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why am I in this business? Why am I pursuing this? In other words, what is your purpose? And when we begin to see a purpose beyond the appearances, but a purpose to the bigger things, that when I thought my goal was making a lot of money, I got limited results. When I accepted my goal is empowering others to become who they can be, to become free of financial burdens, to fly to the sun. That when I accepted that as my purpose, it changed my whole perspective. And those of us on the call today, look for something, your purpose. Your purpose was not to eat and sleep and do the mundane things that everything else on the planet does. We are beings of a higher order, so our purpose has to be to do something, to help, to empower, to teach. When the challenges appear, we question ourselves and we say, well, where am I going? Am I on the right path? Am I following the right direction? And it is here that when these challenges appear, then makes us become clear on our why, on that which we're seeking. Those of us in business, we're doing our business because we have something we want to be, do, and have. You know, it may begin with financial rewards, because so often we can say that, you know, money is a powerful tool. Money is a powerful tool, but a terrible servant. And so to desire money and possessions, but for right purposes and right reasons. And whenever these challenges occur, the thing that makes us hang in there is when we really become clear on, you know, where we're going, that why, that thing that we're going. You know, if I'm going to empower 100 people, if I want to help 100 people become free of financial bondage, then when I hit a bump in the road, when disappointment comes, I can't quit. Because if I don't believe that I'm a key part of that empowering those 100 people, then that my source, my reason is bigger than myself. And each of us on this line, that which we're seeking is bigger than we are. And so to make us hang in there, to focus on that which we're seeking, our goals, that which we want to touch, be, become. And then finally, when the obstacles appear, we hang in there and it makes us question, you know, what must I do? Am I doing the right things? Should I do more? Should I do less? Should I have done something different? Well, that may be. But when you focus on your why, when you focus on yourself, when you begin to develop the confidence in yourself that you know, then the power comes to make you hang in there and keep going. And so when we put it all together, we have to say that, number one, that to hang in there, we must know where we come from. We must know our source, that we come from something greater than all, and we are a representative of that. That when we want to hang in there, we have to really know who we are, to look at ourselves, to do that self-analysis, to bring ourselves in harmony with ourselves. We must love ourselves before we can love others. When the challenges appear, we must focus on why we're doing it. Focus on our vision. Focus on our goals. Focus on our purpose. Whatever we focus on grows. And when we focus on that which we're seeking, no matter what the outside world says, we will be victorious. And then finally, we must surround ourselves with like-minded people. You know, when the challenges appear, you often feel so all alone. You often feel that you're the only one that things are happening to, that everybody else seems to be going over the bridge and you can't seem to get there. Okay? Well, that lack of connectedness is just another way of undermining ourselves, and it often comes from self-creating, self-defeating behavior. And so begin to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, people who are positive, people who are going somewhere, because it's from that communion, from that connection with other people, that you draw the power, that great source. You know, it said that when two or more minds are on one accord, I am the making power. That ability to make things happen is among them. So when you have a team in place, you can get things done much more effectively than working by yourself. As they say, we often say in our industry, it's teamwork that makes the dream work. And so to hang in there, surround yourself with people going in the same direction. You know, sometimes when you get discouraged, but you're in a group, the group will move you along. You may be doubting, self-doubt, you may be discouraged, but the group is moving you along. You know, sometimes you come into an opportunity meeting. We often say that if you have a guest, the meeting needs you. If you don't have a guest, you need the meeting. You need to come into an environment where people are loving, where people are pursuing, where people are striving to be more that they can be, to be all that they can be. And so surround yourself with people who are positive. You know, we sometimes have a thought that I can be around negative people. When we step out on faith to start to build our businesses and to to do great things and even see great visions of what we'd like to do, be, and have. And we're surrounded by negative people, people who are undermining us, people who are talking negative. We sometimes think that we can protect ourselves, and hang in there no matter what. But, when you're surrounded with negative people or with positive people, with that which you're surrounded by, if you were standing in the rain, if negative people, negativity was rain, then if you're standing there in the rain, you're going to get wet. No matter what you say, you're going to get wet, so that negativity comes on you. But the interesting thing, like rain, when you leave that negativity and come into a place where you think that you feel positive and good, you're still wet. You carry that negativity with you. But it goes also in the other way, where when you're around positive people, when you're around people who adore you, uplift you, and empower you, when you go into the negativity, you still have that power, you have that glow. And so, folks, to kind of conclude our thoughts for today, that when the challenges appear, welcome them, because there are opportunities for growth. And you welcome them by hanging in there and don't quit. When disappointments appear, when things don't work out the way you thought they would, okay, welcome that, because in each disappointment is a seed of potential, and you hang in there and get it done. When the outside world says no, and I mean says no in such resounding chorus that everybody says no, you hear the sound inside, you hear the voice inside telling you where to go, and you hang in there. And then finally, when you seem and feel all alone, that nobody understands you, that all of the evidence around you reflects faith and reflects failure and reflects disappointment and reflects negativity, when you stand there alone, know that you are from a powerful source. Know that you're put here for a powerful and important purpose. Know that which you desire will come to you if you just hang in there. Folks, when you hang in there, the best is always yet to come. All right. Let me open the lines for thoughts, comments, shares, and victories. Good morning. Any thoughts or shares or victories we'd like to have today? Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. Other comments or questions? Yeah. Thank you, CJ. And your mother, all the good blessings, all the good things we know are coming to her. Oh, I can hear her voice and feel her spirit. Thank you. All right. Any other questions, comments, or feedback? Any victories that anyone would like to share? Something that you've really done that has really, that you're really, really proud of, that this week has brought into your experience? Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Ruby. It's good to hear your voice. Where are you on the planet these days? Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, being you. Any other? Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any lessons that anyone would like to share? Lessons that you learned that, boy, you're glad you learned it now. Any lessons? Okay. Well, folks, listen, thank you so much. It's been another great day. Today is a great day for living, sharing, and being alive. And so let's go and get it done because the best is yet to come. Bye-bye.